How you going, guys? Morgs here, and I thought I'd do for the first video on the channel, I really wanted to put a video out there that really helps people starting gym who kind of stuck, don't know where to go, don't know how to start, what do I lift, what do I eat, what do I do. So I thought nonetheless I'd give you guys a bit of a recap on myself, my training for the last about 1.5 to 2 years, things that I've learned to kind of help start. By all means, I'm not finished. If anything, I'm super still beginner at the gym, but I find I've learned a lot in these last 1.5 to 2 years of really training body type. And for you natural skinny guys out there, I know how hard it is to bulk weight, to add on muscle, and to really start putting on size and getting definition. So mainly targeted at that, but this is effective for males, females, people who are naturally larger, people who are smaller, doesn't matter. It's really gonna help sit and fit everyone. So I thought I'd start this off really talking about 4 things. So we're going to talk about why I started, because that's a big part of what everyone needs to understand as to why you want to start. That'll help you stay motivated in the whole process. 2, I really want to talk about my routine, how I train, what I've learned from at least the last 1.5 to 2 years of training. 3rd, I want to talk about eating, because that's one of the largest parts of gym. Eating, nutrition, making sure you have a healthy, sustainable eating habit, which will really help obviously maximize whatever type of pathway you're on. Okay, so I said 4, actually just 3. We'll just roll with 3. So we'll start off with the first one. Bit of a brief overcap about like who I am, where I'm from. So my name's Morgan. Most of you already know that. I'm from Australia. I'm 20 at the time of recording this video. I've been training consistently for about 1.5 years. But I've been going to the gym since I was about 16, just really haven't started pushing it as hard and getting as consistent in the last year. But we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Why I really started working out was mainly for me, I wanted to be a little more comfortable with myself. I was very naturally skinny. You can see in photos here and here. So relatively skinny, not much muscle mass. I was fit, don't get me wrong, I could run, not too far though, but I could do it and I was okay. I wasn't super skinny that I couldn't do anything, but I was definitely not comfortable with the size I looked, how muscular I was, and that was the main reason I started. So for me, it was, I really wanted to feel comfortable in my body, and I wanted to look in the mirror and be like, yeah, I'm proud of what I've achieved. So I started working out when I was around about 16, maybe once a week, you know, bit of leg workouts, maybe you might do a couple curls, but nothing changed. I didn't see much growth, small little growth, but nothing that was sustainable, nothing that stayed around. So that was a big, I suppose, issue for me then. Over, I suppose, the past 1.5 years, I've learned a lot personally of what works for me. Any tips, advice, nutrition stuff that I'm gonna give, it's all my opinion. Nothing's credited, I have no accreditation whatsoever for anything. I'm purely just telling you through my experiences what's worked for me. So probably talking through, I suppose, 1.5 to 2 years, I really trained super hard my last year. That's when I really got into a routine. I got really stuck into it. My nutrition has been on board. I've had a really good routine that I've been set out. But to give you kind of a background of how I got all that. So I've been training with my housemate for about 2 years now. We started going just casually. Me and him are both similar body types in regards to we're naturally skinny people. We have to obviously be in a calorie surplus, a lot harder to gain weight for us, which is pro and con, right? Pro, harder to gain weight, harder to gain fat, so you don't get too tubby. Con, super hard to pack on muscle, super hard to gain size. And it's a longer process. You can do it by all means, you can gain tons of size, but it's harder because our metabolisms just aren't programmed the same. I mean, everyone's different, right? Something that I do might not work for someone else, and then that might not work for someone else. So you have to train, eat the way your body's built. So for me, obviously naturally skinny, I do tons of compound exercises, heavy weights, focusing on key muscle groups in each workout. So walk into number 2 now, my workout and routine. So working out wise, I pretty much function and do a PPL routine. For those who don't know, that's a push, pull, legs routine. What that does for me and why I do it is it targets key muscle groups each day, rather than doing, say, a bro split where you do arms one day, chest one day, back one day, legs one day, core one day. 100%, that's a great routine, and I'm not shutting it down. I used to do bro split when I first started. For me, just growth wise, and I'm currently in a bulking phase, I'm really focusing on a PPL training session because that's gaining a lot of size for me. So what I do in those second in a push day, I really focus on my chest, I really focus on my shoulders, my triceps. Pull days, complete opposite. It's about exercises that involve a lot of pulling. So for that focuses on my biceps, my whole back, a little bit of legs as well, which I'll touch on a little bit as well. And then obviously legs day. Pretty self-explanatory. It's your legs. So focusing on your quads, your calves, your hammies, a little bit of cardio and core in there, just because bulking phase, you get a bit of a tum. You want to keep that abs, you have to work it out. Fortunately, you can't. They're not just going to stay there. So if we talk around what I do for push, exercises like you've got chest press, you've got shoulder press, you've got inverted dumbbell press, you've got what else? Cable pull downs to hit your triceps. So a lot of exercises that involve pushing, which I'm going to do a video on what my push day looks like, my pull day and my leg day as well. So stay tuned for that because that'll go into more detail. I have some videos as well that'll help kind of show form, what I've learned that works as well. Pull day, so obviously very back oriented, you've got your pull-ups. For me, I do deadlifts in my pull session as well to hit those hammies and your back. But you'll find a lot of the workouts and exercises that I do, I'll start off my session, so about 60 minutes session normally, I'll start it off with compound. So all those exercises that involve a lot of movement and a lot of muscles activating at the same time. So you've got deadlifts using your back, your hammies, your arms. You're using a lot of your body to lift that weight up, hold it there and lift it down. And for me, gaining size, compound movements are great because they're hitting so many muscles at one time. You can really grow a lot of muscles at once. Now, take into consideration, first year, your muscle growth is going to be insane because your body is just not used to it. Muscles grow so well under stress and under pressure. So really that first year, you're going to grow a lot of muscle if you set it up right. So for those starting going to the gym, doesn't matter what age you are, if you're starting going to the gym, haven't really done much physical exercise yet, that first year is going to be great for you. So really set up your foundations right, really focus on having the right form, having that mind-muscle connection, having a solid routine, because that's going to help blow you up in a year if that's kind of the goals you want to do. But for anyone, for any, I suppose, fitness purposes, it's going to help regardless. The fact is having solid form and foundations before you really get into it and get that, I suppose, repetition coming in. Yeah, one tip, obviously mind-muscle connection. The second tip I have with training is consistency. You're probably going to hear it 9 times out of 10, every single day, 24/7. Be consistent, but honestly, it's just a fact. Your first month training is probably, in my eyes, the worst because you go to gym, it's going to be sore. You're going to go home, you're going to be like, man, this sucks. I don't want to feel like this, because who wants to feel sore every day? I mean, I don't blame you, but I just need to dig deep. Remember why you started, remember why you're doing this, and stick it out for a month, because once you get that first month in, you're gonna see progress, and that mentally is just gonna satisfy you, and you're gonna wanna keep going, you're gonna wanna keep pushing to see more and more progress, and it's just gonna ingrain a really good routine in for you, and that's what's gonna help you grow so much. So first, mind-muscle connection. Secondly, be consistent. And third, probably best tip I can have as well, which I've recently only probably started integrating, is what's called shocking your muscle. So Arnie, big lad, I watched a lot of his videos when he was in his bodybuilding phase, and one of the biggest things he really talks about is shocking the muscle. So what that means is your muscle gets used to what you do. It gets used to you lifting the same weight with the same routine every single day. So what you really need to focus on is, once you're getting comfortable with it, this is kind of feeling easy, mix it up. So a good example of this is I bench every single time I do push day at the very start, because compound movement, I bench, I do 2 building sets and then 3 working sets, and then that's it, go to the next exercise. But instead, what I've started doing is I might do that same routine for a week, and then one day I'm just gonna be like, you know what, my chest is too used to this, I'm gonna mix it up. So what I'll do is I'll do 2 building sets, so increasing the weight slowly to get to the weight I want to work at, and then I'll do a drop set, which is pretty much, I'll do say 70 kilos, pump it down, So do 12 sets and then take 2 plates off, do 12 sets again, no break, take a plate off, 12 sets again, and really shock my muscle, because it's not expecting that. It's expecting me to do my normal 3 sets of 12 with a break to recover. And that shocking is gonna help spark some more muscle growth as well. All right, so we've covered why I started. We covered, I suppose, routine-wise and what I kind of do, that'll help. And then third is nutrition, the big one. You can lift as much weight as you want, but if you don't have a staple nutritional guide, nothing's never going to change. Especially for people like me, nothing is going to change because you're not eating enough. You're not giving yourself enough fuel to grow your muscles, and nothing's really going to change. My body type, so I'm an ectomorph. 3 body types are here to kind of have a look at. You can Google, you can find out what your body type is, but that's a very staple part as well. Knowing what body type you are will really help you to set nutritional goals and working out goals based on that. For me, naturally skinny, medium to tall height. I'm not that tall, but naturally skinny, so longer muscles, not very dense muscles. For my body type, my metabolism for an ectomorph is relatively high. That's just because of the way genetically I'm built. So which is good, because obviously I can eat a lot of food, not pack on too much fat, which is ideal, right? I can smash quarter pounders, I can smash the zinger boxes, and we're sweet. But the issue with that is I have to eat good staple food that my body is going to be able to absorb to build muscles. So what that kind of looks like is, carb, if I'm bulking, carb heavy, really, the potatoes, the pasta, the egg, good carbs. I'm not talking smacking down 3/4 pounders and being like cheering up, get my calories for the day, because you're gonna feel like absolute from that. Focusing on good, healthy, nutritional wise. So focus on what body type you are. I've got a body type quiz thing in the description below, so check that out, because that might help you find out which body type you are as well. So nutritional wise for me, I'll start with eating, and then I can go into supplements. Supplements aren't a diet thing though. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Nutritional wise, I'm obviously in a bulking phase, so probably going to be in a bulking phase for a while, but what that means is I'm eating in a calorie surplus, so more calories than I'm burning each day to grow. This is something, I've been training for 2 years, right? This is something I've probably never really put as much emphasis on for myself since the last maybe 8 months to a year. It doesn't matter what you do, you need to eat. You need to have enough calories and protein and fats and carbs in you to facilitate muscle growth, otherwise nothing's gonna happen. You'll get shredded, which is awesome, but personally I wanted to gain size, I wanted to look a little bit fuller, and I needed to eat in a calorie surplus to achieve that. For me, I have calculated what's called a daily calorie expenditure, which basically is how many calories I burn in a day. That's different to everyone. So a lot of it plays to your lifestyle and your job. My job, I'm standing, I'm sitting, I'm standing, I'm sitting. It varies. Better walking as well. So a lot of people who say tradies, people who are on the go a lot, they're gonna be doing a lot more walking, a lot more working, a lot more strenuous activities. They're gonna be burning a lot more calories as well. So just finding out, I've got a TDEE, total daily energy expenditure calculator, down in the description as well on bodybuilding.com. So use that, find out how much calories you'll be roughly burning in a day. It's not accurate to a T, but that's gonna help as well. So once you've worked out, I suppose, how many calories you're gonna burn in a day, you then have to work out how many calories you have to eat in a day. For me, I eat in a surplus of 300 calories per day to grow muscle and not add too much fat. For me, I kind of have like a lean bulk. I kind of eat about 100, 200 calories from over more than what I eat. So for me, how I do that is I meal prep. Meal prep is super essential. Some people, you can get away with it, but for me, work full time, generally 9 to 5, I can't eat 5 or 6 small meals of the day. This doesn't work, so I have to really focus on, for myself eating wise, I have to focus on really eating good, solid meals throughout my day and using supplements to kind of help me get there as well. So I normally have breakfast, pretty heavy lunch, pretty heavy dinner, and a protein shake to really help me gain size as well. If you want to gain weight, eat in a calorie surplus. If you want to lose weight, eat in a calorie deficit. And by figuring out how much calories you generally burn in a day, because the TDEE, I'm going to say the acronym the whole time, goes off your weight, goes off your age, goes off your height, and goes off your job, which you can Google how much calories do I have to eat, 20-year-old male, but your height, your weight affects it as well. Age affects it, and job affects it a lot as well, because everyone has different jobs. You're out and moving, that's burning calories. So you have to really focus on that as well. So once you have, I suppose, you know what you need to eat every day, you got a solid plan in place. Next thing is supplements. So everyone knows protein shakes. Everyone has protein shakes. If you don't, that's fine. You don't have to have protein shakes to hit your goal. The reason I have protein shakes is back to sort of my lifestyle. I just can't eat that much protein in my day that I need to eat without some aid of some sort. And that's what supplements are. That they're supplementing for it. They're not the sole core origin of that nutrition. You need to get a staple of it from food. Supplements can just help you bridge that little gap to get there. So for me, my protein is Optimum Nutrition Serious Mass Gaining Protein. I used to use Optimum Nutrition 100% whey protein. So I've got mass gaining here, 100% whey here, and I take it in different stages. My mass gaining, super heavy, a lot of calories, so it's really helping me grow and hitting my calorie goals and protein goals for the day. But when I'm cutting, when I get a little bit too chunky, a little bit too fluffy, I'll jump on the whey, less calorie intensive. I can manage my calorie intake a little bit easier with still eating the same. So I don't take pre-workout, I don't take BCAAs, I don't take any other supplements because they actually just don't agree with me. I don't take creatine. It just generally doesn't agree with my body. My body hates it. I feel crappy. I'll get cramps, and it really sets me out for a couple of days as well. So I pretty much just have my serious mass. So I suppose that's kind of it. That's kind of like a bit of an intro to me, my bit of a training history, some tips I suppose for you starting out working out, and also nutritional and supplemental tips as well. So hopefully this kind of gives you a brief introduction. This channel is really going to focus on nutritional tips, workout tips, and just general my life. So I'll be vlogging, you get to meet the crew around here as well, which is awesome, and kind of we'll just grow together. I've got some pretty big fitness goals for myself, for my physique and where I want to get it to. So I'm excited to take kind of everyone through that journey and see where that takes as well. So if you have any ideas, what you want to see, what you want to learn, what you want to ask me, comments below, drop it, and I'll try and do as much of that content ideas as I can to give back to all you guys there trying to learn. But besides that, hope everyone has a great day. Thanks for tuning in the first video as well, and remember to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you get notified when I post my shiz, and my social medias are there. So besides that guys, have a good one and get swole.